my goodness, look at this. I couldn't believe it. I thought it's fake, but it turns out that it's true. The outgoing CFO of Nottingham-based Games Workshop has sold the shares in the company worth more than £700,000. And Rachel Tung has reduced her stake in the company by 2/3 after the share sale at an average price of £94 per share. In January, she also announced her resignation, although she's expected to stay with the company until next January. But why is that? Why is that? I mean, you got Amazon making a TV show about Warhammer 40k to appeal to the wider audience. I mean, they introduced new female space marines, and this is likely to bring a lot of women to the company. So it's more people, not less. Now I understand, like maybe she is resigning due to personal reasons, maybe like a politician, health reasons is causing her to resign, but why would she sell her stocks? Is she a bad businesswoman? Does she not understand profits? I mean, all the game journalists are saying, well, this is great, it's inclusive, right? So inclusion means more people to the table, more people are going to purchase Warhammer figurines, so the stocks are going to go up. Why on earth would she be selling? Honestly, it's so hilarious now. Like, for those of you who don't know, Games Workshop has decided, well, a long time ago, they actually did go woke, but now they decided to treat their customers like garbage, like dog shit, chat, like absolute dog shit. This is the reason why it's getting the backlash. It's not because, they're adding female space marines. It's not, no, like, that's the covering of the dog shit. The thing is, like, you can't just say to your customers, we're changing the lore, so there always have been space marines, and then Wikipedia changes the lore as well. And then you say, well, it doesn't matter, it's a small change, but if anyone complains about this small change, we're going to ban you from the community. We're going to make sure that our moderators have zero tolerance policy if you even bring this up. And then you have, like, the game journalists doing this humiliation ritual for the Warhammer customers, calling them bigots, calling them all sorts of names if they disagree with the change. And Games Workshop is silent, right? Like, they want inclusion, but they're perfectly fine with game journalists attacking their customers. That's how inclusive they are. And then you have, like, people that are minorities. Like, I have seen women, I have seen black people, I have seen trans people within the Games Workshop official account saying that we don't like this change, it's pandering, what are you doing? And they're getting viciously attacked by the customers that allegedly support this. And yet again, Games Workshop is silent, right? Warhammer is for everyone, but they're silent when they're noticing the abuse to the people that they're claiming to represent. So it's all this fakeness, it's the dog shit. And people are moving away to the point that even the Games Workshop CFO is noticing the trend, is noticing how the company is going, and she probably doesn't like this. I don't think she's a bad businesswoman. I think that this is the side of things to come. And it's so bizarre, to see a franchise and everything is working fine, that they're making money, everyone around the world knows about them, and all of a sudden they're making this decision. They're going against their customers. They're going against their fans. This is something that YouTubers shouldn't do as well. Like, as a YouTuber, you can do a lot of things, but the one thing you should never do is to go against your audience, to go against your subscribers. Unless you're DSP. Like, DSP for some reason knows how to pull that up and make it work. He has turned the chat into his bitch. But I don't think Games Workshop is DSP, right? So if I was Games Workshop, I would try to contact DSP, get him as the CEO, so that he can figure out how to manage this mess. But all in all, I saw Asmongold. Yes, Asmongold. He was basically saying that he doesn't understand why there's so much controversy on Twitter and on YouTube, but he doesn't see the controversy on Reddit. And the answer is simple, because they're banning everyone. Like, we already made videos talking about how community managers operate on the same Discord servers. Despite the fact that they're from different companies, they have the same ideology. They do not like the games that they are representing. They do not play them. They are obsessed with Marxism, like, openly so. I mean, there's even a Reddit called Sig Marxism. And those are the community manager that influence others. They have strong nepotism, strong in-group preference, and what they care about is pushing their ideology by using the communities where gamers gather. And the way to gatekeep about this, it's obviously very difficult to gatekeep when the company itself doesn't want you as a customer is to not engage with the official community groups. Just don't engage with the official community groups. They cannot manage a community if there is no community. So what they would absolutely despise and hate is if you see a fan-made community group that has more subscribers than the official one. I mean, that's literally a slap in the face. If you manage to pull off to have a community group about any subject which is bigger than the actual thing. Now I remember when I trolled, I think it was called White Wolf, right? Like the company that makes Vampire the Masquerade. They basically released this nonsense which require people to sign consent forms before they play the game. So you wanted to play the tabletop game and you had to consent to violence, to stuff. And it's like, motherfucker, it's called Vampire the Masquerade. Like, of course there's violence. You have blood-sucking vampires. How can you play that without violence? And then they also say fascists can't play the game. And I'm like, what nonsense is this, right? So what I did is, like, I talked to Arch Warhammer and we organized a campaign, an online campaign, within that setting. And it's like, okay, well, let's play Nazi vampires in World War II invading the Soviet Union during Operation Barbarossa. Like, we're going to make a historical campaign. We're not going to, be edgy about it. We're not going to go into Nazi ideology or anything. No, we're soldiers from the Reich that are vampires and we're going into the Soviet Union. When we streamed that, we had more viewers than the other 2 live streams that were doing the same thing put together. And I know that the community manager and the moderators from the Vampire Masquerade official Discord were absolutely seething. Like, they were absolutely furious that that is happening. And they couldn't do anything about it. Now, that is how you gatekeep. That you create alternative communities, and we show to the world that our communities are more fun. We get to have banter. We do not censor. We allow people to express themselves. We allow people to talk about whatever they want. And we get rid of modern-day politics. Like, I don't want to hear about Trump. I don't want to hear about the Democrats. I don't want to hear about that shit. Like modern-day stuff. I don't want to hear about the American election when I'm on my knitting forum. That is the stuff that I don't want. Oh, like politics in the broad sense of the word, where you're talking about fascism, that's fine. You talk about communism and Nazis, like, that's okay, right? Like, if you discuss it within the setting, within the lore, that's acceptable. But to constantly have to hear about the American elections in every single game that I play, in every single community that I go, whether it's relevant or not, is becoming tiresome. To see these asshole community managers deciding to ban people for frivolous reasons is absolutely asinine. And to see now that they're flat out lying to the community. And they're basically saying, oh, well, our lore always was this way. Or, oh, we don't even care about the lore. Well, if you don't care about the lore, you yourself, the writer, why should I, the customer, get invested? Why should I spend money to buy a book that you don't care about? If you don't care about your product that you're making, why should I care about it? It's so bizarre. I keep saying this, but imagine if your mother, when you were young, was telling you a story about the king having a princess, and then your mom says, well, okay, so the son of the king, and you're like, well, didn't the king have a princess? And the mom is like, well, what does it matter? It's a story about dragons anyway. Like, it's not important. It's like, of course it's important. Internal consistency is part of the make-believe. Like, if you're not going to have the internal consistency, I can't get invested and immersed in your story. So to come out and be this disrespectful towards the customers, because at the end of the day, they keep calling us fans, but we are customers, like, they do expect our money, is incredibly bad for business. And the people within Games Workshop are aware that it's bad for business. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.